Welcome to Thursday Night Knives. I'm your host, Bob DeMarco. Coming up, we're going to take a look at 4 new designs from Finch that are coming, some budget fixed blades, and I mean really budgety fixed blades, and then we're going to talk about recent budget knife recommendations. And by that I mean under $100. I don't know. I've got this weird Jones developing for Civivi knives, and I want to experience some, check some out, take recommendations, that kind of thing. So we're going to talk about that later. But 2 days ago, I recorded, and this came out today, I guess. Ethan, good to have you here, man. Welcome to the show. David, good to have David here. Finally, Thursday Night Knives. That's right. Blood Groove, good to see Blood Groove here. Just leaving the drive-through. See you in a few minutes. Bon appetit, sir. Chew slowly and enjoy, as Grandma DeMarco would say. Byron Kennedy, good to have you here, man. Good to have Byron here. Let's get the party started. Indeed. So I was on Bearded Gears podcast, and Jake, he's such a cool guy, man. Great conversationalist. We had about a 2-hour-long conversation that came out today. Michael, good to see you, sir. We had just a great conversation. I really, really enjoyed it. And, you hear people say this, and I say this sometimes, but it's so rare that you sit down and talk face-to-face with someone. Top Dog, good to have Top Dog in the house, 8762. Addicted to Knives, hello, sir. Good to have you here. Nick EDC here. Hey, everybody. Even fellows and gals. Well, this was nice to be sitting there talking with a guy like Jake. I don't mean a guy like Jake. I mean Jake. And be able to have a conversation and not worry about where the conversation is going. His show, and he did a great he did a great job. Was a very good host and warm host. We had an awesome conversation. So definitely check that out. That's Bearded Gears podcast. Just came out today, I believe. James Morgan, good to see James. James, how are you, sir? Kevin Moore, Kevin. A pleasure. Hi, y'all, NAF folk, he says. Good to have everyone here. Pocket check tonight. I want to find out what everyone was carrying, but today I had a particularly, I don't know, I just realized, I have a lot more on me today than I thought I was going out with. So first of all, the obvious choice, what was in my front right pocket? Jake's a great guy, says James Moore. Couldn't agree more, James. So right front pocket was, of course, the first thing I chose. Rocksoft says 2-hour conversation. It was a good one. Thank you, sir. Or not thank you. I agree. He's very easy to talk to. Nick EDC, your best 2 hours used today was that podcast. Oh, I love it. I love hearing that. And I'm sure Jake does too. So my first choice of the day was the Umnumzan Tanto for the front right pocket. I've just been carrying this a lot. I saw that Therapeutic Edge Peter was carrying this today also. Same knife. He also took out his little tassel on the end, but he has a cool deep carry pocket clip. Me, I don't mind a little bit poking out with this one. But just a great knife. I love this knife. So I had this in my pocket. It's been in my pocket a lot recently, since I got it anyway. Heck yeah, says Ian. Agreed, Ian. And then in my alternating between my jeans pocket and the pocket of this vest here. Hey, Billy, excited for some Thursday Night Knives in the background while studying this pre-calculus test. All right, well, let me assure you, Billy, my presence will not soak up any of the mathematics juju because I have none and my body attracts none. So you will be awesome. You will kick ass on your test, believe me. Knives Fast, good to have you here, sir. Hey, y'all. He's got an awesome channel, man. Knives Fast is an awesome channel. Addicted to Knives, I am digging the pocket clip Peter put on his. Yes, it's nice. It's understated. and it suits the knife, I think. Though I would like to get one of the milled ones. So I had this thing in my pocket, and I know everyone hates this, and this is like, like Pee Wee Herman, The Adventures of Pee Wee Herman is a movie and not a film. Well, I would say that this is a pocket flashlight and not a pocket torch. What do you think? Is that accurate? But I love these little mag lights. They suit my purpose well. I have this one. It's bright enough for my purposes. It's not going to blind any criminals, that's for sure. But keep that there. I also have one of my work keys. It works great, and on my regular keys, actually. The mag light permeates. And then today I was carrying this awesome Copperhead by Rough Rider. Copperhead. It's got this skinning blade. It's kind of set up like a pocket hunter or a folding hunter. It's got a long, skinny skinning blade right here, and then a big clip point blade. Nicely shaped clip point blade. Very sharp 440A steel. And you're not gonna break records with that steel, but it gets very, very sharp, and probably for your purposes, especially if you're a stropper, this is going to be awesome steel for you, just for everyday little piddly stuff. Today, actually, I had some training I had to do at work, and it was this check the box kind of training that I do a million of these, cybersecurity training. This was, all these different kinds of training. This one in particular was about COVID-19, and, I felt especially qualified, seeing as I had it and, got vaccinated for it and all that stuff. So I'm just like, I'm doing other things while I'm listening and clicking the boxes. One of the things I was doing was getting this razor sharp on the bottom of my favorite coffee mug / sharpener at work. And so these two blades, they came sharp, and it's very soft steel, this 440A steel. So I got it just in these two blades, just insanely sharp. So had those two on me. What pen is that, Bob? You say? This is the Kaweco Lilliput. It's a little really nice fountain pen. You have to buy the clip separate. I can't remember. That's copper, I guess, and it's patinaed, or brass, and it's patinaed. But as you can see, a little nice, really super light aluminum pen. It doesn't, with the Kaweco little cartridges in there, it doesn't spew all over the inside. It's a really good. That sounded gross, but you know what I mean. It's a really good pen for throwing in your pocket, even though it is a fountain pen. All right. Next, I also had the quill. This quill, Wingard Wearables, my little worry stone / punch enhancer, force multiplier thingy dingy. I really like this, and I carry it quite often. Just drop it in my pocket, oftentimes just to fidget with. And, when fidgeting with a knife isn't appropriate. And then next I had this. So it just kept going. I didn't realize. I set out thinking, oh, it's so simple today. Just have my Umnums on. And then I realized I have all this other stuff. So I had the Copus Designs Elvia, and I I wrapped it with the kitchen twine, the kind of twine you wrap a turkey up with, or tie up a turkey legs up with. And then I shellacked it, and it kind of gave it that antique look, but it also gives it a really nice grip. It's not too much fatter, so the handle still remains discreet. If I just want to drop this into my pocket, it doesn't bulk up. It's not too bulked up, but it gives it a little more grip than just the naked FRN handle. And so had that on me. And then I realized, well, there's always more, because I drove to work. So I had my keys. Here are my keys. Yes, there's that flashlight again. And then I've got a little titanium clip to hang my keys on my belt, because yes, I have locked myself out of my car in this modern age. And so now I have a strict rule about keeping my keys on my belt. So I also keep this Launch 9 on my keys. Great little knife. And I have for a little while, and I'm loving how it's wearing. I'm loving how the aluminum by the keys is starting to wear, and that anodizing is starting to wear. So I had this on me also, And then last but not least, I'm a tagged human, at work. So to get in and out of doors, I need this on me pretty much all the time. And so I have my little Bastinelli diagnostic on the back of it. People don't see it. They think it's a monocle. So here it is. Boom. And then I have this. So this is everything I was carrying today. Quite a bit. And then at the beginning of the day, I started with this, and I'm like, that's ridiculous. What do I need this for too? This, of course, is this is my car knife, my center console knife, the Roach Belly by Cold Steel. But this is going to show up a little bit later. We'll talk about this. All right. So I'm sorry I'm hogging up all the time with my considerable EDC today, but yeah, I carried a lot more than I expected or thought. What were you carrying? Let me know. Come right down there. No. What I mean is, go right down there to the comment section, type it in, and let me know. Interested. J.N., how's it going, sir? What were you carrying today? I bet it was an S90V Native Chief. Caleb, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Speaking of budget knives, Beg Knife. Oh my God, I saw that $110 G10 glimpse folders. Yeah, well, okay, made a 110. So yeah, $100. I went and looked, and they're still there. Well, they were there this morning. I'm not sure how long they will be there. I saw that Lavana, the Knife Nuts podcast, was posting about that. So probably won't be there for too long, but they look cool. If you like that design, it looks like a great way to get into it without breaking the bank. Blood Groove says, Blood Groove is in. Let the party begin. Caleb Townsend, hello. Michael Morgan, nice roughie, Bob. What's a roughie? What is a roughie? Let me know. Addicted to Knives. That has been my favorite Rough Rider. Oh, roughie. God, I am so dense sometimes, but not all the time. But right now, yes. Thank you. I agree. That is a really nice roughie. And I'm wondering if, there are some Rough Riders I get that have exceptional fit and finish, and others are just acceptable fit and finish. Like these two knives, this one I showed today, this Rough Rider, the Copperhead right here, and then also this amber bone sow belly trapper are just wow. They really hit way above their price range, and I'm wondering if it's the model that they pay special attention to, or if it's more the handle cover in the line. Probably the handle cover in the line. So many pointy things, says DJ. I know, it's true. It's true. And you know what I do? Well, yeah. Boom, shellac, lack, boom. Yes, indeed. I do love shellac. I like to paint with it or use it in paintings. Nice loadout, says Knives Fast. What were you carrying today, sir? Let me know. I'm sure it was something ultra sweet and something somewhat new. Professor EDC says, Bob, Jim, everyone, hope you all find people are doing well. How's the cold? It was pretty chilly out tonight, but 2 days ago, I went out to the car and there was a thin layer of ice on everything. So yeah, people think it's a monocle. yeah, exactly. Liang Ma Field Duty EDC, love that knife. And Mom Isanzo in red fat carbon. Ooh, what is that? Makers of Maniago Isanzo. I can't remember which one that is. Zahn GEC 47 and Knives Fast. Nice carry, by the way. DJ had a Zahn. Was it a Tanto or a clip point? GEC 47 and GEC 6. I love the little 6. I was just admiring my 6 the other day. It's with the natural canvas micarta. Edwin, how's it going, sir? Good to have Edwin here, our resident. Well, he's just an awesome dude and gave me some great advice once on cigars that I now enjoy to this very day. Emerson Elvia, not surprised. Oh, and that new, Edwin has been showing off a new half face blades Crow Junior fixed blade recently, and I'm not sure if it's new or if it's an old one and he's just kind of getting back into it. I haven't seen it. I know that. And man, great great taste in knives. You want some serious eye candy with regular output. Check out Cal OPR on Instagram for amazing account. Tall Ship, Tall Guy. Good evening. Good to see you, sir. Great to have Tall Ship here. Addicted to Knives, A Purvis Primordial Mark II, and Progeny with Rough Rider Copperhead like yours in a slip. Oh, I think you posted your Copperhead within the last few days on Instagram, and I think maybe you did, and I think maybe that inspired me to carry that today. John Powell says, "Great knives, Bob." Well, thank you, John. I appreciate it. I'm real lucky, and I was talking about this also on the podcast with Bearded Gear with Jake. As you get older, you do start to accumulate more stuff and more money. It does become a little bit easier to buy some of this stuff, but still, like I got to sell some stuff. I'm looking at before Thursday Night Knives. I load up my big desk with knives, and I'm looking around. I'm like, I could sell some of these. I could. Nick Edie Sear says, "Who else can carry classy and tactical?" Hey, man, I think we all can. I think we're American men, that's our moral imperative. We're cool, I think Lawrence Fishburne in an interview said that he's like, if you're ever feeling unconfident or whatever, just remember you're an American man. And I'm sure he would extrapolate that out to American woman also, but just like there's something inherently cool about that. And for those of you who are watching who are not American, not a slight on you. James Moore, a monocle would be a good look for you, Bob, carrying the Goroff Custom Division Quantum Bronze. Ooh, James Moore has an enviable collection of knives, man. Blade Hobby, hello, fellow knife junkies. Hello, Blade Hobby. Good to have you here. James, I've never experienced a Goroff. I think that's going to be a project for me. I think I gotta check one out. But I do like the large ones, and I like them when they are inlaid with micarta. I think those might be older models, though. Michael Morgan says, ABKT Roper Buffalo Warrior, reminiscent of the Buck 110 with a flipper tab and pocket clip, 3.75-inch nice, D2 brass bolster, sandalwood handle, 83, and the Pena Bronco or 38, not 83. $38, and then also a Pena Bronco, which is not $38, and an Olight i5R EOS copper. So what is this other thing, this ABKT Roper Buffalo Warrior? Stand by. This has to be Roper Buffalo Warrior. We're going to check this out. I'm going to see it, and I'm going to say, oh, Buffalo. Okay, liner lock. There we go. Let's see this knife. All right. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is cool. Okay. All right. So we'll cover this knife somehow. I'll show that knife at some point. That is very cool. I want one. I want one, and I'm not going to be shy about it. D-Bass, how's it going? Carried my Koenig Arius style 57. All of you with the Koenigs, including Jake showing off his black on black Koenig Arius. God, that knife is just so buttery smooth and so lovely, man. I think I might want one someday in the future. Matt Harvey, hello, Bob and Jim, and everyone here tonight. Matt, good to have you, man. Thanks for the hello. Caleb, today I had an Ultratech and a Coke Tools, right? KTC 1. And I think that is a knife released through Urban EDC. Is that right? Ultratech. Can't go wrong with that. Alex, how's it going, Alex? Embarrassed to say I 2 nights ago discovered a message in my mailbox from Alex. Alex, I owe you a call, sir, and I look forward to catching up with you. Sorry, I slacked on even noticing that you had called until 2 or 3 days later. Anyway, good to hear from you, hear your voice on my voicemail, and good to have you here. I had a Dam Jan custom small Saurus from Croatia. Ooh, huh. Croatia, like, I wonder what that looks like because, you know, close-ish, well, close to Italy, but with Russian influence. That sounds promising if we can look at knives like that. Mark Ridgewell, hey, Bob. Hey, man, good to have you. Good to see your name, Mark. Mark's been around a long time. Appreciate that live. I'm finishing my overtime. Well, do your work, get yourself done, and then go relax. You've earned it, sir. JN had Benchmades on the left and Spyderco's on the right. All right, so I know we don't all adhere to my rules, but you know, hopefully, even though you were carrying multiples of the same brand, which, you know, I can't do anything about that, but hopefully they had different blade steels, different locks, different blade styles. I mean, you gotta follow some rules before you can break them. Byron says, same Cold Steel Recon 1, love that, and my Cobalt razor blade push button pivot, like the Chavez Chubb, but less money. That thing is cool. You know, I gotta say, in pictures, I'm like, I honestly, you know, I'm like, God, that's ridiculous. And then I watched the Knife Center video this week of new knives and seeing it in motion and just seeing it kind of up close and moving around. It looks awesome. It looks so cool. If you have any use for that in your day-to-day life, which a lot of people do, and you're a knife junkie, you have to check that thing out. That looks really cool. Blade Hobby. Today I have my ZT0640. Love that knife with blue fat carbon scales. So nice. It's an Ernest Emerson design. Cool thing with ZT knives, you can tell who designed it by the number. So the numbers that start with 6 are Ernest Emerson. The numbers that start with 4 are Sinkovich, etc., etc. Nick EDCer said, carrying the Chavez scapegoat and the Chubb flipper. Right there. Ask that man. Nick, what do you think of the Chubb flipper? Obviously, you think it's cool. Do you, is that replacing what you would be carrying otherwise, like a carpet knife, like a Stanley knife or something like that? Is that replacing that, or is that just a novelty for you? I'm curious. Max the Maker, what did you carry and what did you use it for? Let's see. I carried, good to have you here, by the way, Max. I carried the RSK Mark 1 G2. I love that knife. Limited edition in black, 20 CV and orange G10. Nice. Swiss Army knife Huntsman in red, Razzle Cliff, and the Olight Perrin 2. Wait, Olight Perrin 2 in limited edition orange. Is that, oh, that's one of the 2 new knives, right? Huh. Did you repair a chicken coop today with your knives? I mean, that's the kind of stuff Max the Maker does. Professor EDC says, carrying my Zahn drop point. I love it. We were a whole bunch of people carrying Omnum Zahns today. We have Professor EDC, me, we have Peter Therapeutic Edge. We had who just back there was carrying one. So we've had hey, you know what I mean? Great minds thinking alike. And Bark River Adventurer. I can't remember which one that is, but I think it's a small EDC fixed blade. Sounds awesome. Well, I mean, I guess you could probably guess that's what that is. Blade Ogre, good to have you here, sir, carrying the Spyderco Shemp Bowie. Oh, I want to talk about that for a second. Petrified Fish, 959 clip point, and the CRKT Lanny. I'm curious about the CRKT Lanny. Petrified Fish is going to be part of next month's Gentleman Junkie giveaway, which is going to be a budget package, because I'm thinking budget this month or this week. I've been, like I said, I have this Jones for a couple of kind of knives I've sort of ignored for a little while, and I want to check some out. So I'm going to be sending out a package like that for the giveaway. And one of the folders will be a Petrified Fish. Tall Ship Tall Guy says, I carried the Chubb Flipper too at Nick's. Oh, I carried it too to Nick EDC here. Jeez, look at this. We got a lot of crossovers here. Mr. Fileto, good to have you here, sir. Evening all. Had the Knife Center exclusive Chris Reeve knives in Cosi Tanto blacked out. Ooh, haven't heard of this one. And the Stubby Medford Genesis tie. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Mr. Fileto won the giveaway last month. John Powell, Emerson CQC 15 trays. What's trays refer to? I absolutely. Wait, is that? Were you the one, John, who was asking me last week if you should get it? The 15. In any case, I love the CQC 15. Was going to be one of the knives on the table today. Didn't end up being so. We got Ryan here, North Code 1229. Good to have you here, sir. Carry my Gator Shaman tonight. Pick and quill. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk. Pick and quill. I love that pick. I mean, what are you thinking of that pick? I don't have one, but I'm very interested. Therapeutic Edge, Peter. Good to have you here, sir. We were just talking about how so many of us today were carrying the Umnumzan, yourself included. Blood Groove says, day off today, no carry. No carry. But I got 2 deliveries today, a set of Boker Quaken Air Minis. Oh, interesting. And NC Custom Spectre Dagger. Oh, nice. That I saw on This Old Sword Blade reviews. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, Dave has, man, he's got a drool-worthy collection. But can you go back, Jim, just to that last one real quick? Oh, Boker Quaken Air Minis. Interesting that you got 2 of them. And interesting that day off, you didn't carry anything. I mean, day off, that means you carry more. Just kidding. All right, next. Let's see here. Walt. Good to have Walt Gilbert here. Carried my 80 20.5. Rogers Slim Utility. So nice. And Victorinox Cyber Tool 34 today. I believe that's a Victorinox that has the little USB in it, right? It's got a little thumb drive in it. That's kind of handy. Billy Spar says, Bark River Bravo EDC. Beautiful. Who was just... Oh, Nick Stasa 23 was just has been carrying that recently. Very nice knife. And the TMP. Oh, I'm sorry. Go back. The TMP. That's the Nothing Fancy Project. Delica. Oh, cool. Was hard to get the Elvia out of my pocket for a while. That's interesting that you have a TMP Delica. So that's one that Nothing Fancy had, and then sold on Big Cartel or wherever he sells his stuff. I had the Umnumzan all day, swapped to the Chavez 229 for the evening. So Peter had a wardrobe change for the evening, like all gentlemen should. Sean M. carrying the Leatherman Wave. Excellent. Best workshop tool ever, he says. Leatherman Wave. Michael Morgan, 3.8 ounce Bob, a tad lighter than Ye Olde 110. Oh, man. That thing is pretty cool looking. And yeah, I would say a bit lighter than the 110, but there's a guy that I follow on Instagram that, come to think of it, was carrying one of those. And I think it's Call Me Mr. Infidel is his name. He's got some cool knives. Anyway, I carried the Ganzo 723 and the CRJB Malia at work today. I think it's Malia. Both cool. That the latter designed by Sharp and Pointy Swags, and the former, I don't know. But I do know that I've experienced a number of Ganzos, and they've been pretty damn good knives. Even before China was making pretty damn good knives. Nick Edie Sear says, I'm Canadian, Bob. No belt sheath knife, I swear. Very, very nice. Spirited Whiskey. Great to have Ryan here. Happy Thursday night. Knives carried the CMF. Nice. Mid Mistress in XHP. Anything that starts with CMF, I love. Christensen. Yeah, that's Matthew Christensen, right? I don't know why that's right. Knives Fast. I've only held an Arius once, and wow, agreed. Spirited Whiskey has a couple of those, and I think he's got a new one. So I'm right? Michael Morgan says ABKT, American Buffalo Knife and Tool. Oh, okay. All right, cool. Good to know. Neves Knives, $5. What? Jared, thank you, man. Good to have you here, of course. But thank you. I appreciate that. Totally unnecessary. I cannot accept it. But since I cannot return it, I accept. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Blades and Fades, what up, brother? Good to have you here, Blades and Fades. I take it you must have some straight razors in your collection, I would assume. Mark Ridgewell, appreciate that, Bob. Huge fan. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. Good to have you back. Or not back, but good to see your name pop up on screen. JN, natch, Bob. Natch meaning naturally. It was nearly unplanned, though. Nearly unplanned, though. Yeah, well, we all have our things. You know what? I can't look. That's something hopefully we've all learned, recently. You just can't foist your beliefs on other people and expect it to go well. So, JN, you carry all the multiple brand, all the same blade shape you want. And I shouldn't say a thing about it. It's not my business. Enjoy your sharp and pointies. 9198, David. Hinderer 3.5 Skinny Harpoon Spanto, and Emerson CQC 10 today. Oh man, that's kind of a little unicorn, the 10, isn't it? Somewhat hard to come by and different. It's got the Spidey hole in it, or not the Spidey hole, but the lozenge shaped opening hole, and an interesting shaped blade, and it's big too, isn't it? I like that knife. We don't see enough of that knife. Knives Fast says, well, I need some rest, so I am out. Sir, here's to hoping that we head down the path of getting autos after Tuesday's VA results, Bob. Yes, yes, yes. Here, here. We had, you all know what happened in Virginia, so we've had quite a change. And hopefully that is kinder to the knife laws here, because they have not been very nice to the knife laws here in the past few years, I must say. And I do believe that was to cover up for other bad things that those people had done. JN said the Razzle Cliff is the third best production razzle. Okay. All right. Tall ship, tall guy. Got my Chubb flipper today. I remodel houses. Oh, how cool. And use a utility knife all the time. The Chubb is much more fun. That is perfect. That knife is made for you. That is your, that's perfect. You're the perfect target demographic. Michael Morgan, the Les George Hydra Fighter is where Doug got the inspiration for the mill pattern on the RSK. Oh, interesting. I did not know that. I do adore me some Les George knives, that's for sure. Blade Ogre, are you going to do No New Knife November? Oh, geez. I could, because November's begun and I haven't gotten anything. I do have something to pay for that's in my possession, but in a sense, and that's this, and but in a sense, I mean, because I think I'm buying it. Oh, well, I don't know. Geez, man, way to put me on the spot, dude. No New Knife November. All right. Let me think about it. I'll get back to you on Wednesday's show. Blood Groove says day off means I stayed home in my PJs. Oh, I gotcha. You want excellent PJ knife is, oh, where'd it go? Oh, I had it around here. But the Fred Perrin design Street Bowie from the old Spyderco. Excellent knife. Steve Clover, Clever. I carried the Migaron Valona today, and it's all Peter's fault. Man, Migaron, some really cool knives. Really cool knives. So yeah, no USB drive, but it has a bit set. Oh, for working on electronics. Okay. All right. So sort of in the neighborhood. Blade HQ sells the TMP exclusives. I look at that Delica a dozen times. That's funny. My Leah. Gotcha. My Leah. Thank you, sir. Blades and Face says, I'm carrying an Ultra Tech Tanto. I love the way that looks. By the way, beautiful Tanto shape. And the ZT308, both are new and just arrived yesterday. Very, very nice. That 308, thought it was pretty cool in pictures, but wasn't moved to get one. And then when I held one and used it at Blade Show, I was like, whoa, wow, I like this. I haven't gotten one yet, though. I would like to have one in my collection. The Delica was the recent drop on Blade HQ in collaboration with Nut and Fancy, coated S35VN and blue FRN. Cool. I have to check that out. I'm a long time Nut and, I mean, who's not? Since 2008, since he started, the year he started, or yeah, about the year he started, because I was watching it, just remembering the apartment I lived in, and I was like, God, is there an audience for this? And look at where we are now. The Boker Quaken Air Minis just came out. Got all 3 satin versions. Black G10 Cocobolo, so beautiful. Love Cocobolo. And titanium scales. All sound very, very nice. Black G10, it's nice too. The pick worked to pry a belt off the front of my Freightliner at work. Oh, nice. With that little with the handle part, the part that comes out perpendicular, it looks like you could put it under something and pry it. Ian Pekarsky, yeah, CMF Blade Works. My bad. Yeah, Christensen Knife Works. Thank you. I'm an ass. Yes, I've spoken to. Yeah. Feel bad. Thank you. But you can't go wrong with either one, I have to say. But in this case, now it's good to know we're talking about Ian Pekarsky. And that's not who I was thinking of. Very cool guy, but oh my God, his knives. And I've only had the chance to experience one. He sent it to me. It was a Daedalus, and he sent it to me to check out before it went to the customer. So again, thanks to him and thanks to the customer, I was able to experience that knife. And man, he is a step many steps above. His work is awesome. Anyway, Caleb Townsend, I've already failed No New Knife November. With what, Caleb? With what? What'd you get? Michael said, ordered the Deluxe Tinker. Man, I do like the Swiss Army knives, and recently I discovered the one that I carry around in my bag is one that my brother gave me. He left it in a base that he sold me, in the case of a base. That thing is from pre-1991. You can tell because of the lack of the hook on the other side of the scissors. And I think that's an interesting fact, interesting way to sort of date or get some idea of where it stands in time. And so maybe all of that means I need to get myself a new one just to compare what it's like with the old one. I could get content out of it and all that. Anyway, I would like your buying advice before we start talking about your favorite recent budget knives and what you recommend. I would like to know specifically about Civivis. What you specifically in Civivi land I want to get. There are a couple of Civivis I want to get. Okay, because Dave gave me the Keen Natter, and I've really just dug this knife incredibly. And my brother-in-law for Christmas gave me the Asticus, and today I was just using this and not using. Frankly, honestly, I wasn't using it. I was just flipping it and admiring it, and it's so thin and so hollowly ground and nice. I just want to experience more Civivis. That doesn't mean I'm going to make a collection of them or keep them. I might move them along and all of that. But I want your specific buying advice about Civivis. If you were just to recommend one, I'm curious. Ryan says, yeah, I failed No New Knife November. Something horrible. Have a Bradley Murray Vector built on its way, as well as a Thies Meads 4-inch dyno front flipper build coming. Both amazing South African makers. Oh, I can't wait to check these guys out. Man, so Ryan is another one of those guys. I mean, I've met so many of them doing this show, but Ryan is a maven. And if you don't know what a maven is, Malcolm Gladwell in one of his books, Tipping Point, I think, describes it perfectly. And this is where I got this information. But a maven is that person in your life, or those people in your life who are constantly checking out new things and know new information about a topic. Music, like a lot of us have music mavens in our life, friends who feed us great music, or, oh man, every time I'm in his car, I hear something cool. And so Ryan's one of those guys for knives and knife makers. Byron says, Bob, do gifts count for No New Knife November? No, they do not, sir. They do not. No one can control, someone else giving them something. Bob, Illinois. Illinois. Bob, I'll send you any Civivi I have. He says, "Oh, thank you. Let's say I have a lot." All right, cool. Well, I'm interested in what I like. I know you in particular, Jared, love the riffle. I want to check out the riffle. I want to check out. There was one from a little while back. Dagnabbit. Civivi Knox is a great smaller frame lock slicer. The Knox. Okay. All right. I think I know that one. Does it count if you purchased it in late October, but it didn't arrive till November? That does not count either, Sean. I mean, Scott. I'm sorry. I'm looking right at your name. That's how tired I am. Scott, that does not count. As a matter of fact, some people have been known before the onset of No New Knife November to, stock up and then open boxes throughout November of knives that were purchased in October. And it's all for content, I'm hoping my deadlock lands this month too. No New Knife November, be damned. I agree with you. The deadlock. I mean, who doesn't want a hawk deadlock? I have one Civivi, the Praxis, but I think you already have a Dogma, Bob. I think they're similar, if I remember. Yes, they are very similar. They are indeed. I no longer have the Dogma. One of them I gave away on my birthday, the one that Dave gave me, and then the one that Joe gave me is such a perfect Carolina blue color. I had to give it to Jim because every time I showed it off, he'd be like, "Yeah, that blue knife you showed tonight, I really like that." I was like, "Oh, I'm picking up what you're putting down." So it's in the family. It's just not in my knife case. Blade Ogre, you're welcome. I won't be doing it, but it was entertaining watching you last year. Don't think it was brought up this year is why I asked. You know what? It did not even occur to me. You're right. Like I've been, with we have a few annual payments, that are big, to ensure a better future and all that kind of thing. But we got to tighten the belt certain times a year. This is one of those. So basically, it's a gimme because I can't in good conscience, unless I sell some of this fine cutlery, buy much in this month anyway. Blade Hobby says my favorite Civivi right now is the Riffle. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you for the recommendation. That is also something I've heard, like I said, from Jared. The Praxis and the Badlands Vagabond Ordis, very similar thumb stud versus cutout. That Badlands Vagabond is so nice, man. That's the one that looks. The very first one that came out was the what was it? The Appalachian or something? What was that called? I'll just bag up a bunch of good ones for you. Thanks, man. That would be awesome. I'd love to check them out. That'd be so cool. Have them for a few weeks. Oh, yeah, have them for a few weeks and then send them back and figure out which one I want to buy. Chris McNair, good to have you here, Chris. I really like I really like the Civivi Brazen Tanto. Good looking blade and fidgety. Okay, that's one I was looking at today. That's one that's currently sitting in a cart, possibly awaiting purchase, in the black blade with the maroon handle. Looks so nice. And that Tanto is so cool. Matt Harvey says the Riffle is a great Civivi and very fidgety. And you know what? It looks different. It has a very, not very, but it looks different from a lot of the other Civivis, Ryan says, Bob, when you swinging through Chicago so we can hang with Jared and me? Oh my God, that's awesome. Huh. Maybe this winter, I will be coming out to Ohio. It's not that much further. That would be so cool. I would love a knife hang in Chicago. Great town, by the way. Great town. Walt Gilbert says the Praxis is much larger and has a completely different blade shape from the Dogma. So there. But I do think, right, Walt, but doesn't the Praxis, they both have clip point blades, hollow point clip points. Is that right? Isn't the Praxis? Oh, no, the Praxis is more of a leaf, like a barong shape, I think. Caleb Townsend says, I really like the Civivi McKenna. Okay, the McKenna, that's a slender one, and that is, that's an Isham design, I believe. Caleb, right? Yeah, I believe. Buying advice. What's your single favorite Civivi? Yeah, I want to have a small-ish collection, see what I like, and then wind it back down. I do like the look of most of their micarta, I got to say. Just very nice. And the Elementum button lock, I really, really enjoyed. The one that was on loan to me with that nice carbon fiber, that marbled carbon fiber. Oh, so nice. Was that marbled? Yeah, that was. So I'm looking forward to that. And then this, let's just listen. So thin, so sharp. Blade Hobby says, I have my eye on the Keen Natter. Might be picking up soon. I got to tell you, I recommend it. Check it out. It's right here. I particularly love this this setup with that acid washed dark gray color next to that beautiful ochre color. One of my favorite color combinations, period. It reminds me of the steely gray Ohio sky in winter with the fallow fields laying before it. Yes, the poetry of Civivi. I just think it's a beautiful knife. It's also very thin and so sharp. Even that forward portion that's flat ground is incredibly sharp. And this is a through line with this brand. And the action, of course, is spectacular and gets better with every flip as those grooves wear in. And I got to say, introducing Zero Wiggle. One thing about this is this thin handle from here to here. Oh, the brigand. The Civivi brigand. So this distance from here to here, a little shallow, but it still feels good. And it makes me think that I would really like the Hadros. Anyone have that? That's a Dylan Mallory design. Hadros. Dylan Mallory design. It's a Warncliffe with a very thin blade that's sort of curvy and just looks, I don't know, looks nice. What do you think? All of these micartas, so nice. Byron Kennedy, the Praxis is just the right size for me, and the action is so smooth. It gives me butterflies. Yeah, I get it. Oh, I didn't even want it to close, and it closed. Tim Simcoe, good to have you here. Tim, the CJRB Gobi has been sitting in my Amazon cart for a little while. You know what also, Tim, the CJRB, the new one, Jared did a lot of people have done videos on it recently, and dagnabbit, I can't think of what it's called, but I've had that in my cart for a while. And you're like, that's a hell of a story, Bob. You got to remember to tell us that one again sometime. Blood Groove said, I failed no new knife November 2. Today I bought an Arcane Designs antimatter. Yes, with a custom finish. I pulled out my antimatter today with a custom finish from JD Cutlery. They do such cool stuff. Has a black wash blade, purple anodized handle with blue stone wash. Ooh, and polished blue collar. Oh my gosh, man. All right. Well, how are we going to see this? Here, this will tide you over until yours arrives. This is my antimatter with nothing customized, but still does the trick for me. Yours sounds positively beautiful, Blood Group. Here, look at this. Here's something you have to look forward to. Actually, I'm not sure if you can see it with the coated blade, but that beautiful all the grind lines you see there. Riyadh just does amazing grinding, and their belt satin is very nice. I had two of these to check out and sent the other one back. The other one had the black blade, and the only reason, it was a struggle to figure out. I had to keep one. It was a struggle to figure out which one I was going to keep. Everything was telling me to keep the black one because overall I liked the way it looked better, but I just wanted to look at the grind lines on this. I just think it's so nice. Hey, Hawaii Knife and Gear, good to have you here, sir. I see a little cool gesture. It's funny because I grew up in the north, in the Midwest and the Northeast, and to see like Northeasterners go, "Hey, bruh," it's like. Steve Clever said, my favorite Civivi is the Insight. Ooh, wait, the Insight. That's one that looks like a Wii knife that I used to have and that I bought my brother-in-law, I think. Good taste, sir. Caleb Townsend says, life is too short not to buy a knife for a month. I can't disagree with that. I cannot disagree with that. So I guess I'm going to try and stick to no new knife November now that it's been mentioned, and it can be something that I kvetch about for a little while. and then go back to it. Just received the CRKT Ritual, and it's fantastically fun. That is a cool knife. That's the big new Alan Foltz collaboration. But unlike Alan Foltz CRKT collaborations that we're used to, like the Little Minimalist, this is a giant folder, giant Persian folder with a beautiful white G10 handle. I hope you enjoy that in good health, sir. Yvonne says, good evening, Bob, Jim, and the beautiful knife peeps. Well, it's good to have you here, sir. Knife addict for life, no doubt. Blood Groove, those grind lines are nice. Mine was the only antimatter they had left, and previously sold ones were truly beautiful. I don't know, man. Sounds like the one you got is truly beautiful because, you know, sometimes it's worth trading, looking at some grind lines for the rest of that awesome setup. Blade Hobby says, I like the CRJB Scoria. That's the one with the coral micarta and the black handle. That's the, or with the black blade. That's the one I was trying to think of, the Scoria. Love the look of that one. It's been sitting in my Amazon for a short while. Todd Carr says, evening, everyone. Good to have you here, Todd. What were you carrying today? Blade Ogre, my favorite Civivi is the copper and black Dogma because of the shape of the blade. That blade shape is gorgeous. And Blade Ogre, as we all know, is a huge Bowie fan, clip point fan. And that is one of the most dramatic, both ancient and futuristic looking clip points out there. Love the Dogma. I'm gonna have to get one back into my life. I appreciate the faux jigging. I do think that the Dogma is a beautiful enough design that they could upgrade it, put real titanium liners and integral bolsters, and then put some sort of bone on there and jigging, and then have the beautiful blade. That would be cool. Professor EDC says, but what totally left me without words when unboxing was my first custom by Daniel Court, the Little John Bowie, a gorgeous piece. Daniel Court, the Little John Bowie. Oh, God, that sounds gorgeous. Have I seen that? I don't know if I've seen that, man. I have to make sure that I follow everyone here on Instagram or YouTube if you have YouTube, because I'm not sure now. Because I think I would remember the Little John Bowie. Shane Gables, good to have you here, man. Always a pleasure. Byron Kennedy says, the Scoria in denim micarta and the Magician's Case Trapper are my next budgets. I like that, the denim micarta. So the Scoria is in the offing for me too, Byron. But what's this Magician's Case Trapper? Does it have like cards or something on the covers? So the case I'm looking at is old, totally old school. I love the yellow Delrin with the CV blades, and they just released a bunch of sow belly Stockman with the yellow Delrin and the CV blades. $62, something like that. Got to get one in my life. Todd Carr says at home, so just a CJRB Feldspar. Love that. And the QSP Parrot today. I do respect QSP. I've had the Penguin in my box for a while, but haven't pulled the trigger on that one either. The Parrot, I totally respect from all the videos I've seen, but man, that is knife. You know, when you look up knife and there's a line drawing in the dictionary, if any of you remember that, it was kind of like the internet except in a book, and you would type, you would look up by alphabet, and you go to knife, and some of the more interesting words, they'd have little illustrations next to, and they're like cool little line drawings. And the QSP Parrot to me is knife, folding knife. It is so I don't know, oddly like appealingly plain. It's, if you get my drift. Michael Morgan says, what's out there for the Praxis? What's out there for the Praxis? Micarta and 14C would be nice. I think the Praxis is one that they have gone around the bend with, or not around the bend with, but you know, that they've really opened up and broadened. I think they have a whole bunch of stuff for the Praxis. Professor EDC, it used to be Ryan. Oh, nice. Oh, Ryan was selling some beautiful, he was selling that Terzawola that gorgeous Terzawola knife, fixed blade knife, and offered it to me. And I just didn't have the fundage, but it was also a very nice offer, I gotta say. Also have the Case Mini Copper Lock and pocket worn Bermuda. Oh, so nice. Pocket worn Bermuda jigged bone coming. Very nice. The one thing about the copper locks, the Case copper locks, they always have the blunted tip. The clip point tip is always blunted, and a lot of Case knives are like that, actually, just kind of rounded off. And I can only assume that's because maybe this is out of some sort of tradition. I don't know. When people bought a knife and they used that knife until they had to buy a new one, and they sharpened the hell out of it. And so you make the knife with a rounded tip, you're going to be able to sharpen it a whole lot more before the knife starts to shorten, I guess. Yvonne's carried the smock with SDK's camo micarta scales and a TRM nerd. Ooh, very nice combo. Very nice combo. SDK camo skills. The sow bellies look great. Yes, yeah, I agree. Magician has the one side red bone. Oh, with the green shield and the other side green. Okay, cool. For sleight of hand. Very cool. So Byron, do you have a nice big case collection? Are you a case collector? I know a lot of people like to crap all over case. You know, I think you have, if you have an eye for their stuff, but you've been burned, I think you have to have an idea of what you're in it for. If you're in it to collect series, they have a million billion series, and they're constantly, so if you collect things, off of eBay, or if you collect things, there are a million different series you can collect from. And if that's your interest, you're there. If your interest is having a really great work knife, there are certain series that you want to go after, like the Yellow Del Rin series. I like the Worker Man series. I think that's what they call it. The Worker series are always good. Those are the super inexpensive ones. And then some of the other regular made ones seem to be stout all the time, like the chestnut bone knives, like all the CV ones seem to be pretty stout. Blood Groove says, Bob, that brown bone Queen Warncliffe you showed yesterday is gorgeous. Almost bought one, but cheaped out on $5 shipping on a $15 knife. Will add one to my next Smoky Mountain Knife Works order. Yes, this thing is cool, man. This is a very nice knife for, I think I paid at Smoky Mountain. I think it's like, well, I don't know. We'll say $15. A couple of things stick in my craw. That crown is, as you can see, cattywampus. It's not level. Queen Warncliffe is a great little knife, fifth pocket. Agreed. Beautiful honey bone here. You flip it over, it looks even nicer on the back. Great walk and talk. Great sound, great snap. I really do dig the downward angle of the Warncliffe on this type of frame. Great Eastern Cutlery uses this frame, calls it the 38, and it's a little bit bigger for them. Very, very, very nice knife for $20 or whatever. $20 plus shipping, or $20 with shipping. DJ says, I want more case. I only have a yellow CV mini copper lock. That's a nice one. That's a nice one. Now, you'll notice on the mini, on the copper lock, you'll notice on the clip point blades in CV steel, they aren't as rounded off as the surgical steel ones, or what do they call it? True Sharp. So there you have it. Mark Kaufman says, it's a great line of knives. The American Worker knives from Case is fantastic. However, expect hit or miss QC from Case. That is true. That is true. And that's kind of my point. Like, I think maybe there's a little less QC on their special projects, odd as that may sound. And what I mean by special project is they're different series knives. I could be totally wrong. Byron Kennedy says, I carry like you do, usually one modern flipper and one traditional. Appreciate all the great OEMs. Yeah, I've been coming back to flippers. Flippers for a while, I wasn't appreciating them. Now I'm really appreciating them again, as well as the others. Mark says, I owned that Queen Wharncliffe for quite a while. What bothered me is the fact that they added a lanyard attachment. Yeah, that's right. And for the life of me, couldn't get anything to fit through it. Yeah. It's a single strand of mithril is supposed to go through here. See that little post? Yeah, it's teeny tiny. I only come here to hear Bob say, stick in my craw. Okay. I have a lot of other old folksy sayings I like to say too. I think I got stuck in my craw from Primus. That song, Jerry was a race car driver. Wanted to adopt some folksiness into my vernacular. So tonight's topic discussion: recent budget knife recommendations. So let me know what it is here. We've been talking a lot about these things, but and you've been giving me great Civivi ideas, and I hope I have also encouraged or let you know that the Keen Natter is awesome and totally worth it. I can't remember who it was who has been eyeing it up, but yeah, you'll like it. You most definitely will like it. But let me know about other things like CJRB, the Scoria, of course. Other knife companies I need to know about, because I rely on you guys. You're all my mavens. What's that new brand? I'll think of it in a second. I missed out on half the live cast because of the old ball and chain finds out I'm enjoying myself and decides to call me. Walt, don't mince your words, man. Tell us what you really mean. What are you talking about? I'm just kidding. That's all right, man. Family comes first. We record it. You can always come back. You can always come back and watch. Ocean Ash, it's good to have you here, Ocean. The Pilar 3 is my new favorite budget. I love the Pilar 3. I had one and oddly enough kept it somewhat pristine, so I re-gifted it in a panicked moment. It was like, oh my God, I forgot this. It's his birthday, and cleaned it up, put it in the box, and the guy was none the wiser. Great guy, great knife, of course. But yeah, I love the Pilar. Mattis Faction says Honey Badger. Okay, and they have a whole bunch of new ones. Rough Rider, I'm totally with you. And Petrified Fish are my latest go-to budget blade brands. I like the way you said that. Petrified Fish, I have experienced. Here, this is the one we're going to be giving away in the budget bundle. It's going to be this, and I haven't decided on. It'll be this Petrified Fish knife, a Rough Rider. I haven't decided which one, and then a fixed blade, budget fixed blade. Haven't decided which one. This Petrified Fish is, I just looked it up. It's like $28 or something. I cannot believe that what they're doing for this low cost. And I hope it's not a whole bunch of human misery that makes this possible, because it's inexpensive for what you get. I mean, this is a fantastic knife. And the very first Petrified Fish they came out with, I want to check that out. That is a cool looking one. Can't remember what it was called, but if you go to the Petrified Fish website, you can check out which one was their very first model. Mark Kaufman said, I recently just picked up the Kershaw Knockout. What a great knife. I know it's an old one, but it's definitely a great knife. So, okay, I'm glad you brought this up, Mark, because my wife, she like, I've gotten her knives and like nicer knives, and she always comes back to her Kershaw speed saves. And I was just thinking, man, she needs a new knife. And I've gone down this road before where I've gotten her like a cool new knife, and she's like, oh yeah, I like it. Yeah. And she just wants her assist. So I'm going to have to get Kershaw Knockout is the perfect, because that is I love that knife. I had one. That's another one I gave away to a friend. I give a lot of knives away. No, I don't. One leaves one leaves the collection, it feels like a lot. So excellent budget slip joint, Kershaw Culpeper. Agree, 100%. I was just carrying my Culpeper. That's the big Barlow, right? I was carrying mine this weekend. Like, I forgot all about this thing, but it's really, really great. And I would imagine that the Trapper that they make and the Stockman are also good. I'd like to get that Stockman. Yvonne says Kubi KU 322 is fire and new Sencut models. He really likes the new Sencut models, and I agree with you. I think the designs are beautiful. I love the there are two new clip points came out from them in the last couple months that I like. Blade Ogre Tucson is probably the best value. Really liking petrified fish now too. Yeah, like I said, like for them, not even for the money. I mean, they're amazing. They're amazing production knives, and to see how little they cost is it's it's kind of like I was very suspicious of Trader Joe's when we started shopping there. I was like, everything they make tastes really good. Why am I so suspicious? Same thing. Kubi KU 322, Bob. You'll love it. $55. KU 22. I'm going to do it. Sorry, it's antisocial, but KU Kubi. Let's see. Oh, this one, the new one. Yeah. I, I, I got to check it out. I'm interested. I'm not crazy about how it looks, but you know, all of these people, all these trusted sources can't be wrong. Todd Carr got a budget Reich Jaeger on the way. Fixed blade 14C28N for $64. Very nice, man. 14C, I do love 14C28N. I love how it polishes up and how sticky sharp it gets. Is that the one that I'm thinking of? Yeah, the Sandvik. Zachary Schmidt says, first of all, good to have you here, Zachary. Been getting into fixed blades lately just because of their availability and simplicity, and kind of getting tired of keeping up with folding knife trends. Zach, that's funny you should say that. Well, may I call you Zach? Zachary, it's funny you should say that because something similar to me has been happening as well. My tastes in folders have narrowed a bit, at least taste in things that I want to spend a lot of money on that I think I'm going to carry. And my first love, fixed blade knives, you know, have I've been just back into them a lot more. Here's a cool one for you to consider, sir. Just pulled this one out tonight. Haven't had this one out in a while. This is the Wild Pig Hunter by Tops. I've had a lot of Tops knives. I've sold a number of them, and I'm down to a few of the important ones, and this is one of those. My wife got this to me, gave this to me as a gift, so it's important in that way, but it's also just a really man, it's a special knife, and it's actually based on a Russian design, but just a beautiful, beautiful knife. Shane Gables, and I do love the coating or the lack thereof, the differential heat treat and all that. Shane Gables, Bob, have you tried Manly? I have not. They're Bulgarian, right? They're not much on fit and finish, but have awesome heat treats and super thin geometry. I do remember the Manly, what was it that came out? The Manly, they came out with one that reminded me a little bit of an Endura, and then they had a couple of slip joints and stuff. And that's what I remember most is people just oohing and eyeing about how thin they are. But they stopped selling them in America or lost American distribution, and now you have to kind of go through their website. And they're Czech, right? Or no, Bulgarian. What did I say? Oh my God, man. It's been a long week. Professor EDC, CJRB Tigris, Boba, heck of a cleaver. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I don't really have any cleavers. I need to fill in that box. Hawaii Knife and Gear says, just got the Black Fox Huggin and Muggin, designed by Mikkel Williamson. Very nice. He's one of those guys, man, you know when you're looking at a Mikkel Williamson knife. You just do. He's got his own design style and language for sure. Professor EDC, love the Pilar 3. Yes, me too. I love all of the Pilars. I love them all, but definitely the 3 with it's got the nice point, a little more length. I think the ergonomics are perfect. Agent Orange Peel, good to have you here, sir. I know it's long in the tooth, but I still think the Rat one is the best budget knife. Hey, man, I'm long in the tooth too. It gives me more respect for it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Old buildings, ugly buildings, politicians, and whores all become respectable if they stick around long enough. I know it's long in the tooth, but the Rat one, awesome, and the Rat 2. As a matter of fact, who was it today who opened it, did an unbox? Oh, it was Stasa, did an unboxing today, and he used the venerable old Rat 2. I'm like, with all the awesome knives he has, he still has that around. So, useful is useful. Classic is classic. Mattisfaction, was it the PF Beluga? The one that I just showed? Oh, or which one? The one I just showed has a number, 808 or something like that. So I'm not sure, actually. Stephen Worth, I'm late to the Rough Rider Reserve game. Just got the kayak in the mail today. It is absolutely perfect. As good as knives I've paid 5 times as much for. Okay, so this is the kayak is the Rough Rider Reserve canoe. Canoe is I believe, yeah, kayak. This is a canoe, or their take on. This is a Rough Rider canoe, a mini, and it's got the 2 blades, 2 pen blades, one small, one large, and it's called the canoe because of the shape of the handle. Looks like a canoe. So Rough Rider Reserve, I do not have any, and I would like to experience them. I think they're catching their stride with this second release. What's Tobias? I really like Tobias Gibson, his videos, and he talks about how he and I came to agree with him through his video, but he was not happy with the models that they chose. He was not pleased with the traditional patterns that they chose to go with the reserves, and he was also not happy with how thick and heavy they were. And then they came out with the second iteration, or with the second groupings of them, and they've been getting more and more refined from what he said. And so I'm interested to check some of these out. I'd really like to check out the swayback with the easy open notch and the natural canvas micarta that they just dropped. Mattisfaction says, "Oh, Damn Designs is excellent for the money as well, and any one of the models are great." Yes, I would agree with you. Damn Designs. I had the 4 from the pass around group here. I had them for much longer than I probably should have, but I loved them. I loved all 4 of them, and I had some of the old ones. I had 4 of the old ones. I just dig them. I must say, design-wise, I like the older ones, the last batch of designs, better than this current batch with all the big fat Tantos. I like the older ones better, but still, I know what the quality and the way they felt in hand and how great, the attention to detail that went into them. I know these new ones are going to be great too. It's just a matter of taste. Walt says, "I love my Sencut episode." Sencut, gotta check them out, man. I gotta check out Sencut because that's kind of I like really expensive knives or really cheap knives. That's kind of how it's working for me right now. The Kaiser Genie is pretty awesome. Front flipped and hole opener. Ooh, nice. Kaiser's, I feel like Kaiser fell out of favor for a short while, but that they have kind of, I don't know, they're back. Not that they ever went anywhere, but I think, like I said, they fell out of favor for whatever reason. They did not do anything though with Tangram, and I wish they did because I really liked what they were doing. Mark Hoffman says we definitely live presently in an amazing period of time regarding production knives. 100%. 10 years ago, I don't think we'd even fathom what quality and what blade steels we could get for under $50. Yeah, no doubt about that. I agree with you 100%, Mark. We do live in a golden era, and hopefully it goes platinum, baby. Hit like. I always forget to say this, so I'm going to say this right now. Hit like if you're here and you're listening. couldn't possibly do you any harm. So hit like. I would appreciate it, and it would help us out here. So thank you. Also subscribe. But I'm not trying to tell you what to do. Hawaii Knife and Gear says, not so little money anymore for Tucson. I think I missed the Tucson train. I got to say, not that it's a train and not that I missed it, but I think I missed the cheap Tucson train. James Moore says, favorite budget knife, still the Civivi Backlash, 4250 with black G10. The Backlash, their very first knife, I think, still just a beauty. I love the way that knife looks. The little thumb swale, the hollow grind, the long clip down the back. It's like a clip, kind of. What's this? Billy Spar says, anyone have any good recommendations as far as selling some knives, aside from just using eBay? Yeah, go to Blade Forums, sign up, spend $35 to get a gold membership. That means you can buy and sell on Blade Forums. You have some other perks and stuff too, but that's what I do, and it works. It helps to diversify though. There's also there's a Reddit group. I can't remember who sent. Maybe Lindy Lou sent me a link to a Reddit group, but I don't know how to Reddit. What am I tweeting now? I don't get it. I don't get this stuff. Just kidding. I'm not that dense, but I just haven't done much on that Reddit. But there are plenty of places besides eBay. Darth BMX says, and people out there, I'm not closing down that conversation. If you have good tips to give, let us know. Darth BMX says, just got the Best Tech Explorer and I'm digging it. Very nice. I do Best Tech. I love Best Tech and I love their OEM work. I have a number of them. Shane says, Manly makes a great work knife. They're not pretty, but they have great geometry and high Rockwell hardness. Yeah, I think they kind of look cool. I mean, they kind of look cool in a sort of plain knife kind of way, kind of like I was talking about with the QSP before. Byron said, I always keep going back to off grid. Gotta flip that tab soon. Yes, I do like the off grid. I think I have one out here. Yes, I do. I got two out here. I got the Scorpion. This is a very fun knife to flip. We're talking so much about Civivi. The Scorpion here by Off Grid Knives is made by We. So it's got super quality, it's super action, super fit and finish. This thing I like about the Scorpion, it does not have weight reduction pockets milled out of the back. And I really like the way it feels and sounds. I'm sorry, Jim, can you go back to that last one? Incognito Griffin, good to have you here as always, sir. Need a budget knife to go to your nearest gas station. Oh, need a budget knife? Go to your nearest gas station, he says. Yeah, I guess, man. But what are you saying, that there's no place in life for budget knives? I beg to differ, sir. Steve Clever says, I'm also still on a honeymoon too with the petrified fish beluga. So I pulled this out. I also must say that, oh, dag nabbit, I don't have it anymore. The little Cayman. Oh, here it is. The Cayman. This thing is crazy cool. This off-grid knives, and it is so fun to play with. This is definitely a fun fidgeter, but also melts into the hand and is a pretty nasty little implement. Very useful tool. The Kubi 322, 2A Dave, good to have you here, sir. Kubi Key, Jesus. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Kubi KU 322 and PF Beluga Budget Knife of the Year finalist. Oh, very nice. Okay, I got to check this out, this Beluga, because I know I've seen a lot of the petrified fish pictures and videos, especially from Dave, but I haven't paid attention to names. Got 2 petrified fish models, number 969s lately. They are sweet. All right. I got to get that first one they came out with. The Harns Wolverine 14C28N is a great budget knife and tactical look to it, and has a tactical look to it, says Matt. So Matt, I agree with you about Harns. Unbelievable quality to Harns. $40 harvest knife. We had in here also a donation to from This Old Sword Blade Reviews. We gave that away on the birthday bash. Who wound up with that? right on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, such a great knife. I couldn't believe it was $40. $40. I liked it better than the $940. That's right. I said it. Walt says the Rat 3 is nice and has as a smaller fixed blade. Yes, I would agree. That would be one I would like to have, actually. The Reich P801, also an unusual, an absolutely great budget knife. Yes, I used to have that knife. That is a great budget knife. I don't like the look of the Reich clips. That's the one thing. They're blue clips I don't like. But I mean, that's nitpicking. That's ridiculous nitpicking. It's one of those excuses for not buying a knife. Byron Kennedy, I really like knives, but the 2021 prices are leading me to fixed or firearms. Hey, man. Yeah, I hear that. Ain't nothing wrong with going to fixed blades. Really. I mean, there's nothing to, and you know, it is true. If you start paying Chris Reeve knives money and up, if you start paying $400 for a knife, that kind of thing, well then yeah, you're in gun territory. And if guns are in competition for your money and your hobby time and energy, that's stiff competition for sure. Hearns Warrior feels very Cold Steelish. Ooh, you had me at very Cold Steelish. That new Rough Rider Reserve swayback looks awesome. It really does. And also the blue handle, the blue micarta handled single arm jack looks really cool too. 915 knife. I was really impressed with the SRM model 1168. So that's the San Renmu kind of reboot. Ninth Chamber, good to have Ninth Chamber here. I just got my second Rough Rider Reserve, the new micarta swayback model. The first was good, but not impressive with fit and finish on this one. Wait. The first was pretty good, but not impressed with fit and finish on this one. Really? Oh, that's disappointing. That is disappointing. If you're going to do this, people, Rough Rider, if you're going to do this, if you're going to take your knives from $12 to $75, it's got to be on point. Am I right? I mean, right? If you're going to do that, and that's a leap of faith you're asking people to take, you have to deliver. Like, you have to deliver in this case. It's not like them making a $16 Rough Rider that kind of flops or didn't turn out as great as they thought. This is this is like tripling the price or more, and then giving them something worse than what they could get for $12. Got to be careful with that. That's all I'm saying. Michael said, recently got the SRM/Land 912. Impressed indeed. Is that the one that looks somewhat Sabenzoid, Michael? Curious. Zachary Schmidt, good to have you here, Zachary. Oh, I've already welcomed you. Well, Zachary, good to have you again. Just bought a wee 919 stonefish, very much like that stonefish. One question, Bob: could a hunting knife with a gut hook style blade function as a strap cutter? I can't comment on that. I would imagine if that gut hook is very, very sharp, yeah, it would probably be very good. I think, though, the one thing about a strap cutter, now I haven't done a lot of strap cutting, I have to say, but most of them have what look to be a razor sharp blade in there, and then a small groove to feed what you're splitting through. And that small groove kind of forces the material to go in straight and not to buckle like this. That's the only thing I'm wondering if with a gut hook. Okay, so with a gut hook, I think it would work very well. You just have to apply upward pressure, and you're going to want to do that anyway with a seatbelt. The only thing is that the sharp edge on the other side is going to be right up against that person that you're trying to free from the thing. And if you're using it from the seatbelt, if you're using it as a strap cutter around crates or something, you still have that sharp edge pointed down towards the thing. So I don't know. Yeah, I think it could work, but I think you could come up with better things. Maybe. Mark Kaufman said, heading out you guys. Cheers to all of you. And thank you again for the wonderful live feed and discussion. Have a great night, my friend. Thank you, my friend Mark Kaufman. Very much appreciated. Always great to have you. And thanks for stopping in tonight and being a part of the conversation. Professor EDC says, Bob, do check out the Boker Yokai collaboration with Alessandra DeSantis. Yeah, I love her work. Actually, I had the Roman here for a while. Really liked the Roman. Very, very cool. I love her. The Roman is kind of a dark horse in terms of the rest of her designs, but like cool stuff. Cool stuff. I like her use of the octagonal shape. Todd Carr says, caressing the like button can lead to happy endings. Goodness gracious. Hawaii Knife and Gear says 2017-18 were two Sun glory days on eBay. Wow, that's dipping back. That's dipping back. Shane Gables, the Reich P801 outcuts nearly every other budget knife. Great edge retention. Oh, I think that was the 14C, right? And it's a full flat ground. That thing's gonna just keep going. Selling knives, Blade Forums, Reddit Knife Swap, Usual Suspects Network, Facebook groups. I'm very Facebook resistant. I mean, we're on Facebook and stuff, and we post there, but I don't know. I don't find myself going there gleefully. Let me put it that way. But every time I talk to Edwin, for instance, about some amazing new Emerson, or a lot of people just they go and they belong to these maker groups in Facebook and meet like-minded individuals who are like so super into one brand or into one maker or whatever, and they swap amongst themselves. Like, you wonder why you can never find a Great Eastern Cutlery knife on the secondary. I mean, you can find them on Blade Forums, but they go like that. It's because they're all being traded in the Great Eastern Cutlery forum on Facebook. So it's a great place for people to look. LTK is a great place to buy and sell knives from a trusted source. Love them knives. Very cool. Yeah, he does those big sales. Blade Hobby. Yeah, Bob. What is the best? Hey, Bob. What is the best Rough Rider? I should try to replace my old Swiss Army Cadet. Well, so I don't know. Rough Rider to replace a Cadet. So the Cadet has a spear point blade. It has a bottle opener / screwdriver. It's got the mini screwdriver / can opener, and it's got the nail tool. I don't know. I don't think there's too much that's like that, because I immediately think of this Rough Rider multi-tool, if you will, and it's an old school Boy Scout style knife, or camp knife, and it's like it's like 2 springs thick, and it's got liners 4 springs thick. Wait, I cannot count. 1, 2, 3. It's 4 springs thick. Got all these tools on it. It's not. It doesn't have the same tools. I don't think they do anything like the Cadet. If you're looking for a Cadet, I would get a Cadet. But there are. That being said, for more traditional slip jointy knives, I would say, man, choose your best pattern, choose your favorite pattern, and get one, and see what you think. You're only out $12, and you can always give it to me if you hate it, or I'll buy it from you. Two Sons on WMK are still not bad if you can catch them in stock. WMK. What's WMK? Don't know what WMK is. So I just want to I want to show off a couple of these budget fixed blade knives and find out what you think. This, of course, is not one of them. This is a Tops knife. So let's see. This one is one that I showed a little bit before, but I'm curious if anyone out there has this. I know a lot of the people who watch my stuff and who come here are mostly folder people and strive for the upper echelons of folders frequently, but have their feet firmly planted on the ground, like Casey Kasem would say. and so have an appreciation for all ranges of stuff. Matisfaction, excuse me, says, I've had good luck on some Facebook pages, but the Cold Steel group and Jimmy Slash page. Oh, like the Cold Steel group and Jimmy Slash page. But you need to use Facebook, of course, to utilize it. Yeah, that is the rub, isn't it? So here is a fixed blade that you might not consider that is outstanding. Hero Sticks, how's it going, sir? Hey, y'all. What about Best 21 budget fixies? Yeah, I don't know. That's part of why I'm asking this question. This is something that is, I mean, I bought this for probably $12 at the time. This is the Cold Steel Roach Belly. It's got some pretty cheap German Krupp. I think it's 4160 or something. Stainless steel, super inexpensive polymer handle. The tang is 3/4. But I knew a guy who spent 2 or 3 years on the road backpacking, who this was his only knife, and he swore by it. Not this knife in particular, but not this exact one, but this model. And that's what inspired me to get it. And I keep it in my car, and I put some texturing on the handle, pretty rough. Doesn't look that great, but it feels really good in hand. And I made a Kydex sheath for it, light gauge Kydex. And this thing is awesome. Every time I pick it up, I'm like, I'd love to have like Hogtooth Knives make a version of this with like all the same dimensions, everything the same except high-end steel and some cool wood handle or bone handle. I'm amazed at the fixed blade underground custom makers that are quietly promoting their craft. Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff like that. I mean, like these, like JB knives, for instance. But it's an expensive Rough Rider Scout knife to replace Cadet. Yeah, but Michael, that's what I was just talking about. Showing the Scout knife is that it's so much thicker and heavier than the Cadet, and lacks the nail tool. So I don't know if there is, unless you're willing to put this in your pocket. Like this to me is something you put a string on, you put a lanyard on the bail, and you throw it in your backpack and pull it out when you need it. But I don't know. Let me know. I'd be interested to find out. I have a little keychain thing called the Rescue Me tool. Seatbelt cutter, window smasher. You could pair that with your fixed blades, perhaps. Oh yeah. And then you'd have all bases covered. As I showed before, here's a nice little cheap fixie, $20 CRKT minimalist, and this is truly a knife that you can carry, a fixed blade knife that you can carry. Anyone can carry. My dad carries one in his pocket. He just puts the sheath on it, drops it in his pocket. The camp knives are bulkier than the Scouts if you're looking for a Cadet replacement. Agreed. Let's see, a couple more I want to show off, because these are the reason I'm showing off these budget fixed blades is that these are likely the kind of things that might end up in the package with the other knives for the giveaway. Here's a cool one. My brother gave this one to me. This is the K-Bar. Hey, Jock's Knife, good to have you here, sir. Always a pleasure. The K-Bar TDI. This is for self-defense, for originally designed as a weapon retention knife. So you keep that on your offside. If someone's reaching for your gun, you isolate their hand. You grab this with your other hand. The idea is it's got a pistol grip, so it's more intuitive, apparently, to gun people. I don't know if that's actually true. I do like a pistol grip, though. It's a good way to go on a tactical knife if you're used to it. Todd Carr, not sure about Rough Rider, but Reich and Tucson make some Victorinox style knives. You're right. And so does Boker. Little multi. There's also Swiss Tool. They make some cool stuff. Here is one of my favorites, one of my absolute favorites, and it comes with a lanyard for neck knife carry, and it comes with this cool little skull bead. White Mountain Knives. Thank you, sir. White Mountain Knives. And I know that You've been carrying that knife for a while. I don't know. Senior moment. Blade Banter, good to see you here, sir. Cold Steel, Mora, Condor. Some good budget fixed blades. Absolutely. Absolutely. Cold Steel, you know how I feel about Cold Steel. I love this CRKT, this little Obaki. This is a Lucas Burnley design, and really just down. It's just a shiv, basically. It's a classy looking Japanese ethnocentric shiv. And if you look at the Sukamaki wrap, it's rigid. It's put on there and epoxied, and man, it gives you great gription here. Todd Carr says, I believe Reich makes their multi-tools in 12C28N. Very nice. Two more I want to show off, or no, three more I want to show off real quick. In the same vein is the Cold Steel Spike. This one is the Tanto version. I put my own jimping in the handle there. And so these are all great. These are smaller. I don't have too many larger fixed blade, custom fixed blade knives. I mean, not custom, but fixed production. All right, so this is the Buck Knives 119. This is a classic, and you can get this for $40 at Walmart. And wow, I love this thing. Bob, check out the SRM S745 fixed blade. I will. Ooh, I love suggestions. I love recommendations. So this is the classic 119. You've seen this on a couple of horror movie posters over the years, and it's just a classic. This is like the fixed bladed version of the 110, and not unsurprisingly, I guess. Even the blade echoes it. Cold Steel Mini Tack is better than the CRKT Minimalist because it comes in Bowie shape. Yeah, it has a bigger footprint. I have the old Kiridashi that's been discontinued. Blood Groove, Bob, I prefer fixed blades too, but folders are more practical for carry. I can't hide a fixed blade at work. Yeah, I hear you. I know that is a concern. Blade Banter, the CRKT tailbone is awesome. Like it more than the Minimalist now. The tailbone, interesting. Got to check that one out. I also like the Spew, though I have a hard time bringing myself to say I like the CRKT Spew. So it just sounds gross. Last one I want to show. This is another $40 at Walmart. At least that's how I bought it. Sort of purchase, and that is the excellent SOG Seal Pup. Seal Pup has a long history and used to come, like when I bought this one, I was excited to get the 8 or the AUS 8 version because you could mistakenly get this in AUS 6, which, diminishing returns, you know what I mean? So I really like this one. This one comes with a nylon sheath with a whole bunch of, not with a whole bunch, but with a pocket on it. And I ended up opting for, I bought second-hand market, this Kydex sheath. But interestingly enough, we were talking about strap cutters. See that groove cut in there for strap cutting. I have not used that. I have my doubts, though. Though the knife is very sharp. I keep it very sharp. It might do great. I don't know, but I'm not, I don't have any spare seat belts to try it out on. So there you have it. Budget fixed blade knives. I know this is not an exhaustive survey at all, but I was just thinking about this, the giveaway for next week, and I was thinking about what are the kind of knives I'm thinking of, and we're thinking along these lines. Something might be something classic, like could be like a Cold Steel. What's that called? The Oyuban, I think. I'm sorry, it escapes me. The Cold Steel Recon is $40. The Cold Steel Tanto is badass. It is, I agree. Cold Steel, man, they just keep knocking it out of the park over and over. All right, guys. I have to admit something. I'm not feeling well at all, And I think I got to end this broadcast like now. So I'm sorry to do this. But thank you all for coming. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for watching Thursday Night Knives. Please join us on Sunday for another great episode. It'll be another great interview show. And then, of course, on Wednesday for the midweek supplemental. I do apologize for the abrupt ending to this. I have a great knife fight that we'll do next time, steel handle versus FRN handle. And, well, thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night. And for Jim working his magic behind the switcher, I'm Bob DeMarco saying, until next time, don't take dull for an answer.